Hello and welcome. In this video, I will share with you how to add animation to your Desmos design. My focus will be to add animations to the waves. So here I'm going to go back to my functions, and since the waves are these blue lines are represented by the trig functions, we are going to work with the trig functions. To add animation, we're going to go to the first equation, to the first trig equation, and add a coefficient a. So once we do this, the Desmos will prompt us to select the slider, and we're going to add the slider, and this is what you're going to see. There are a few things that we want to discuss about this slider. Number one, the size of it, and number two, the speed of the animation. So we have the power to change the size of the slider, as you can see in here. The domain of this slider is between -10 and 10. That's automatically set, okay? So what we want to do is limit the domain so we won't have very high waves or very low waves, right? So not too far above the sea level, not too low below the sea level. And here we go. We're gonna click on the box, and that will allow us to select our domain. I like to have gentle waves in this case, so I will select the values of a to vary between -1 and 1. Again, you can always play with it, okay? And I'm gonna make the step 0.001, so I want the waves to move very slowly. Now, notice how the waves are kind of mixed up now, and the reason why is because only the top wave has a coefficient a. So what we want to do is give the same coefficient to every cosine function so that the waves will move at the same speed and magnitude, which means that they will follow along, and the motion will be more harmonic. So for this, we're going to add the slider a in all the equations, okay? And you can see that we went back to our waves in the same pattern that we drew them first. Now, if you want to test the a values that we have chosen between -1 and 1 and see, to get a feel of what these a values will do to the graph of the function, or what the animation would look like, you can press the play button. And these are nice and gentle waves, but here are other things that we can do with the coefficient a. Now, another thing we can do with coefficient a is the speed. So the speed can be changed by clicking on the button below the play, and as you can see here, you have the speed. So I want to make the speed smaller than 1, and let's see what this would look like. So the waves are more gentle. So if you would like to change the speed to even smaller, 0.5x, then go for it. And this is what that is going to look like. Now, another option we can choose in here is to make the waves go up and down, or make them always move in the same direction. So it doesn't really matter, it's just a preference. And play around with it and see how that works for you and how you like it. So this is how you animate with Desmos, and on your culminating activity, you need to animate two shapes. So waters are very common objects or shapes or parts of the design that would look very cool when animated. It can be a clock if you are designing a clock, or it can be a bird if you are designing a bird, etc. I hope you found those instructions useful, and I hope this makes sense. Thank you for listening.